there were Irv Smith and Sky Moore sightings the past couple of days. Any chance of either contributing? And that was something that our friend PJ Green, Fox, the Kansas City Fox local news, actually talked about. Irv Smith, he may not have been talked about enough, but he's been doing pretty well in camp, and he's actually been utilized at H-back at a few points, JD. Does that surprise you? Irv Smith plays some H-back?
No, not at all. I mean, that's his body type. I would think that's what they would put. They would put Irv at. That's why I said they brought him in at that position. I know Mike last week was saying that, he didn't really have a position. I'm trying to think what he said. But I think that's where Irv would be. He's, 6'3", 245 or 250. I mean, the sucker's built like a Greek god. So him being there, you might not have to use, Carson Steele or somebody else, okay, to block. And he can catch the football. And he's athletic. So that sounds perfect to me. Exactly. There's your 14 personnel right there, Marcus. Wiley in, Noah in, Travis in, and then put Irv in the backfield. All four of those jokers run out there for a route. So,
yeah, and that's the one thing that he provides at Blake Bell. I mean, he didn't scare you as a pass catcher, but with that four you just named, those are four viable guys you can do something in the passing game. And I think Saturday or yesterday, Irv Smith had 2 touchdowns during practice. So Irv Smith, I mean, he's starting to come on a little bit. I don't know why he's not getting enough pub by all these outlets who are there. I don't understand. Maybe it goes better with the Jared Wiley hype. They want to play up Jared Wiley, but not talk about Irv Smith Jr. that much. But nonetheless, he's apparently looking pretty good at training camp. So that's a good thing to hear.
Listen, we can't believe that sometimes even these sports places have an agenda about who they want to put out there, right? Who's a big story and talking about it. And that's what we were saying, like, look, how come we haven't seen anything of Irv? Or if they're just flashing up when Sky Moore does something wrong. He drops the pass. Oh, to Sky Moore. Okay, so you're creating a narrative on these guys. They might want to get him cut or the same thing, he goes somewhere else. Hey, man, it's early in camp. Let them all play it out. These are 2 talented guys. And so I think Irv got a lot to give. He's a very talented guy. I like him as a tight end. So if he's able to contribute, man, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, Melly Matrix, I do believe Irv and Sky both can contribute. They're not lost on me at all. So I think they're very 2 talented guys. This is my opinion. This is me watching these guys. I've said this before. Sky Moore he's developing. He's a guy that had to take a little time to develop. Some people are like, oh, we didn't got patience for it. Okay. Irv, we haven't seen anything for it. He scores 2 touchdowns. So we'll just have to see. So Sandman says, I heard Irv had a great camp from several folks. That's good.
Yeah, it's only started to come out within the last 2 or 3 days. And I'm saying the whole week went by last year. We didn't hear anything about him. And then the last 2 to 3 days, it was more stuff coming out about him, which is great. Great to see.
And man, look, camp is one of those things. If you're not really watching all the practices, all you're going to get is clips. You ain't going to know what guys are doing and what they're not doing. Some guys could have had a good day, but the only clip that you showed him dropping the football. So he has 1 drop, catches 6 of them. You're going to say this guy was terrible. He needs to get cut. Well, what about the 6 that he caught? You don't say nothing about that?
Yeah, I saw someone make a comment last week before the Irv Smith stuff started to come out this past week, and it was like, oh, what's he done all camp? And then someone was like, yeah, I heard he's been just juggling footballs before every practice. That's all. That's the only balls he's touching. Which every practice he is. That's what his thing is. It's actually pretty impressive. He's got 3 footballs. He's juggling those things like a magician. Pretty cool stuff, actually, I will say. But it's cool to see him doing what he's doing, making an impact on the offense, which is great.
So I say yes, Marcus. Okay. So what we know is this. All right. The first game, September the 5th. All right. September the 5th. You have a whole month and some days to get your guys right. You do. There's going to be some decisions that people are not okay with, some decisions that people will have to scratch their heads about. The evaluators that are there, as far as the coaches, they are watching every single play that these guys are doing. Every single pass rush, every single tackle, every single angle, every single catch, every single step. They're doing the full evaluation of these guys. Us evaluating some, as we're doing right here, some of the clips that we get. Like you said, there's only a small sample size. And it's almost unfair to say, well, this is what this guy is and what he's shown because of only the small clips. And sometimes we might do a disservice to a guy because we just don't know. When I'm sitting there and I'm listening to like Creed Humphrey talk, and they were asking him behind the scenes, how is Kingley, Norzad and those guys, CJ and all, how are they doing, right? And he's just like, look, these guys are getting better. They're learning. Now, we watched the clip where LRZ was running. I think you showed the clip. And our two guards were getting their butts handed to them on the play. Okay? I think one of them might have been CJ Hansen. I don't know who the other guard was at the time. It didn't look good. LRZ's getting tackled in the backfield. And I know Tasia was like, Barry Sanders might have had a hard time making that cut, to get there. I was like, well, look, Barry Sanders, I watched Barry Sanders make 9 guys miss, okay? Barry Sanders might have hit his head on the goalpost on that one. But this is LRZ, okay? The blocking scheme of itself didn't look good, right? Now, it might just been a bad play from those guys, okay? They might have had, after that, even better from there. Didn't let nobody touch them. But sometimes it's just unfair. Like if we look one scene and maybe, one play and a guy looks good, or let's say a guy catches one, right? Justin Ross catches one-handed, all great, man. Well, then all of a sudden he disappears. What's the issue? So I think there's a lot of context there sometime in camp. I like to look at a practice. That's what I want to. I want to see an entire practice, okay, to actually watch these guys. I want to watch these guys' steps on one-on-ones. We just watch LRZ, okay? I want to see some other running backs. I guarantee every other running back didn't right either. I guarantee some other running backs that look terrible on those drills, okay? My thing is we got to find the right guy to make sure that Patrick's okay back there, all right? We can talk about LRZ all day, but who's the guy that's showing up? Who's the guy that's getting it right? That's my question. So Patrick's not getting hit. So he's not getting tattooed. So I need to hear from a CH or Pop or Daenerys Prince and all those other guys. Those guys that's making sure that they're striking the linebacker or the safety nose to nose. Okay, you throwing him out of the club. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. That's what I want to see is consistency there. That has to happen in camp. That's how you dictate who's going to make the team and who's not going to make the team. Okay, so it could be a fan favorite or somebody who doesn't like him because he's the team villain. Okay, and he's been hurt and he hasn't shown anything, and we just need to get rid of him. Hey, the coaches may make a different decision because of the little things that he's doing in camp, or little things that we just don't see on film, right? We said Sky Moore is a great blocker, okay? He does a hell of a job out there when guys have the ball in their hand and he's got a block for him. He's going down, he's doing some different things that other guys may not be doing. And I'm just saying this, and I'm just throwing his name out. He could be a wide receiver who catches a 9 route, okay? Hits his head on the goalpost. But the other 20 plays, he's lackadaisical. He's not going there and making a block for anybody. He's not running the right route. So we can sit there and say that one play, he's great. The other 19, he might be trash. He might be something that they don't like necessarily. So I'm saying that because I know sometimes how it goes in camp when we talk to some of these reporters, and the reporters have to have angles that they got to get to because the guy is the most popular guy to talk to. I don't buy into those things. I don't buy into the narrative. I want to see what's out there on the field to make sure, okay? So this is my little rant for the day. I'm when I say this because I just remember how camp is, and so because it is just such a different world how they do things with social media, putting video out there, you can make anything look like anything, So
Yeah, because with no videos about a certain guy, or if they're not posting videos about a certain guy, you automatically assume like, wait, if I'm seeing videos on this guy, but I'm not seeing videos on this guy, and the only videos I'm seeing of this one guy are him dropping the passes, so he must not be having a good camp. Yeah, so yeah, yeah, it's interesting. And we've seen, I mean, we talked about it last year. Arrowhead Pride had a whole thing about like being very anti Justin Ross, anti Ross, anti Ross. Yeah, great story, but he's not going to make the team. He makes the team, and then they have their lead guy, eating crow for a little bit there. But yeah, because a lot of these guys they want to be right. It's like, and I don't know if it's they get more clicks or more hits if they're like the
absolutely,
if they're the anti Justin Ross guy. Yeah, he's not making a team. Mark my words. Then when it comes to cut down day, he does make the team. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I was wrong about that, but
absolutely. That without a doubt, it is about more clicks and views and stuff like that. We understand that. Okay, we understand that. That's part of what it is. Sometimes that's what I don't like. I don't like that. I can't stand it. Seriously, it gets on my nerves because it is just clickbait. Get somebody in to watch your video, and that's all you want. You want that, right? Our engagement is we want to be fair on the things that we're talking about. These guys, how they look. Like I might make an assessment. Heck, who's to say a guy that's been in the league and for 11 years, coached for 12, I could be wrong about a guy. I could just give you my assessment on what I see, as a player and as a coach. How I feel about a guy. I could be dead wrong. We stood on the table, okay? Didn't we? We stood on the table for Flash when he was here. We stood on the table for him.
we did.
We love Flash, okay? We thought we still had something in the tank, man, and the Chiefs was like, hey, we gave him a shot, we gave him a chance, and it just didn't work out. So, we just sometimes in camp take a grain of salt. Enjoy camp when you go up there. I'll say that. Enjoy it. And I see when, even when guys come out there, they throw a deep pass and they're cheering, yay! And I'm like, he's supposed to catch a deep pass. He ain't got nobody on him. It's supposed to be a touchdown. And I get cheer for it. Same thing, cheer for the defense when they make a play, okay? Because these guys are going to be phenomenal. I've been hearing some great things from my defense on the camp. When I sit there and I watch Spags do his little thing, when he's talking to the media, he's got a smile on his face. Well, Spags always has a smile on his face. But you can see just the optimism he has about the defense that he's got, man. He loves these guys. He loves it. And he's giving these guys everything. He's throwing them out there. And I love that. I love that because it challenges our offense. What we're doing is, let's not look at the optics of the deep pass and all that. Let's look at how they're developing as an entire team and a squad, okay, to win a championship this year. And sometimes we may miss the forest for the trees, okay? We may miss that like we did last year. And teams is, we're not going to win a Super Bowl. We didn't miss it, Marcus. Not once did I get down on these guys because I'm like, man, this thing it's a marathon. It's a marathon.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.